Greetings all you manics, arms, and crimes, and welcome back to another Warframe video. Today we're going to be talking about Baruuk and his newest augment. Well, technically he has two augments now, but I'm going to be talking about the one for his 4. So let's talk about it. So here is the build I'm going to be using for the test. This is the build I run all the time because it works very, very well. It works every single power of his works very well with this build. So reactive storm. Okay. So it gives 35% status chance plus 35% status chance to his 4, which means you can easily hit 100% status and it will match the enemy weakness. Now, I will say that this augment right now, it's a little bugged. It doesn't adapt to the opponent all the time. But with just the status chance boost, it hits a lot harder. Now, let's talk about Desert Wind. Alright, so this is how I have my Desert Wind modded. Now, I don't know if Shatter and Impact works. I feel like it does. Anyway, Prime Pressure Point. On other weapons, Condition Overload is far, far better. I've proven this before. But on this, Prime Pressure Point is better. Don't have Prime Pressure Point, just use normal Pressure Point. It'd be completely fine. Anyway, so I have 100% status and corrosive. And 100% crit chance. And 3.8 crit multi. Now, look what happens if I put on the sacrificial mods. Yeah, and then 2 times for heavy attack. So, like this, you could do a red crit heavy attack build. But you see the boost here. Now, let's go back over to the build. When it says here, okay, reactive storm status chance 71%. Alright, so that is what is being boosted, and that depends on your power strength. If you have over 300% power strength, you will get 100% status. But that doesn't matter. Anyway, I don't know why it is bugged the way it is, but it really does not adapt to the enemy's weakness all the time. That being said, I'm going to spawn in some Corrupted Heavy Gunner level 130 and show you just how strong Baruuk's 4 is now. So I have to let my restraint go away. So go ahead, keep shooting me. That's good. Y'all are dead. This is an enormous improvement on damage, by the way. And it gets even more if you sleep the opponent. I mean, look at this. I am easily hitting, what, like 20k in some circumstances? Yeah. And it goes through walls and everything. Look at this. Now before, his 4 would struggle to kill like level 70s, level 80s. Now it is perfectly capable of killing enemies you're never realistically going to see. But anyway, I talked about sleeping the enemy. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright. So now that they're open for finishers. Dead. Dead. They can't do anything. By the way, combo multiplier does not work on his 4. I don't know why, but it doesn't work. Blood Rush doesn't work either. You can't put it on. Well, I'm not going to say the combo doesn't work. It's just it's not easy to get your combo up with his 4. Other than doing finishers, because the waves don't increase the combo. What does increase the combo is like finishers and also his fists themselves. So If you want to, you can technically put on Primed Reach and you will be able to punch the enemy as well. But honestly, just build it like this. It's a lot better. Anyway, so you might be thinking, because this augment adapts to the damage, why don't you just put heat on? In fact, I'm actually going to do that right now. So let's take off all the corrosive and just put on all the heat I can. And then I'm probably going to put on some other mod that I can put on here. What could I put on here? I haven't formed it. By the way, this is Zero Forma. I really can't put anything on here because it doesn't. It really doesn't matter. So I'm just whatever. Put on Drifting Contact. Why the fuck not? So again, I have to let my restraint go. This is the only problem some people have with Baruuk. You can't just immediately go into his 4. I think it's fine. It kind of fits his whole aesthetic that he's a pacifist and doesn't want to fight, but as soon as he can, he will, or needs to. So it's not adapting to. You see, there's Curse of Procs. I don't know. It's a bit bugged, like I said. And remember, I have a 71% status chance on getting the weakness, but it's not working as intended. That's a bit of an issue, and I really hope soon they fix that. I assume they'll fix that pretty soon. So, for right now, me personally, I just go ahead and put on corrosive. I don't really screw with anything else. You might be thinking, oh, put viral on. There's a problem with that, with doing that. Not just because there's no slash, but because the augment is bugged. If Serene Storm, the stance, or any other way, could proc slash on every single enemy, it'll only proc slash on enemies that are weak to slash, like infested for some reason. Also, if the enemy has no armor, in the case of Grineer, you will be proccing viral. But only if the augment decides to work. It's a bit of a problem, but with that being said, the damage does not fucking lie. Now, one last thing I want to do. Well, I'm actually going to do 2 last things. First thing, I'm going to take off the augment and show you what the damage is like without the augment for a clear comparison. This is going to pain me to do because I'm used to the damage of the augment. Go ahead. It's not bad, okay, but it's not. Yeah. It's because there's no status. Well, there's very little status. This is more so just pushing enemies around. With the augment, they'd be dead by now. But, obviously, you can do slide attacks, and that'll do more damage. And it'll lift enemies into the air. But yeah, that's the difference the augment makes. Clear difference. Now, another thing I want to do is I actually want to spawn in some other enemies other than corrupt heavy gunners. For that, I am going to spawn in. First off, I'm going to spawn in some Corpus, and I want to highlight something. Now, against their proto shields, magnetic instantly, stops them. But against flesh, viral and toxin are very good. It says gas is minus. Don't listen to that. Here's the thing. Why am I pointing this out? The augment is going to proc magnetic on Corpus basically all the time. Very rarely when it works, it will proc gas or toxin. I've seen. It will also proc toxin against robots? Shouldn't it be proccing radiation? I don't know. It works in odd ways. But anyway. Yes, go ahead, shoot me. Ah, my eyes. So yeah, there's no procs that they're weak against. I'm not getting any. Ah. Why is it bugged like this? Why is it gotta be like this? You see, I'm not proccing anything they're weak against, even against their drones. I'm not proccing anything. You'd think I'd be at least proccing Toxin, right? But no. Now, obviously, Corpus are chumps when it comes to defense, but when it comes to offense, they are kind of a problem. Anyway, I'm going to spawn in now some Infested. Now, against Ancients, I've seen it proc Gas instead of Corrosive. Or Blast. I don't get it. I don't know what is up with this Augment and it being as weird as it is. So against these dudes, it's going to be proccing... I'm going to just spawn in 20 of them. Why the fuck not? Because I'm going to need a lot of these guys to get my restraint down. Yeah, they're gonna take their sweet time. So you'd think you'd be able to like proc heat against these guys, also gas against these guys, because that's what they're weak to. But they're resistant to toxin but weak to gas. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. Anyway. Yeah, there we go. And now they're all dead. Oh, no, they're not. No weakness proccing. You see what I mean about the inconsistency? When the Augment decides to work, it is very powerful. Now, I'm going to spawn these guys in again. Not that many. I'm going to spawn these guys in again. I'm going to spawn them in at level 80 and watch how fast that they die. Because level 130 is a bit nuts. I think 130 is a little more reasonable. Now it's proccing gas against these dudes. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get what is up with this Augment. And it being as weird as it is. But you see there. But I'm going to spawn them in one last time. Now against Bombards and some other Grenadier units, you're going to be proccing radiation. But those are really the weaker dudes. And it won't matter because they're going to die. But anyway. Just the status chance bonus has made his 4 incredible. It's just the fact that the Augment is bugged, and it's DE's fault. It really is. It's just their fault. It's not Baruuk's fault that it's bugged. It's DE's fault. As soon as the Augment isn't bugged anymore, I'll do a follow-up video. But anyway, as is right now, Baruuk is in a very good spot. He's also got his other Augment for his lull ability, so keep the map asleep forever. But I don't play like that. It's not what I enjoy. But either case, Baruuk is better than ever now. The biggest issue I had with Baruuk is that his 4 did not do any damage. I mean, it could, but it wasn't, like, great. But now his 4 can hit really hard, and I feel like they've done a few things to make his 3 more consistent in defending him. I don't know. But when you look at his kit as a whole, he has good survivability with his 2 and 3, sleeping enemies forever and disarming them. He's got good damage with his 4, and yeah, good crowd control with all those abilities as well. He's got the entire package. I'm just wondering what other augments that are going to come out for him. What I would really love is an augment for his 3, to where if you kill an enemy that has been disarmed by his 3, it will... This is all... I'm just all spitballing. This is not confirmed. Where you kill an augment that was disarmed with your 3, you have a chance, like, I don't know, 20, 30, 40% chance of getting a whatever you'd call these back. Darts? Yeah. So that way you could keep your damage reduction and your 3 would still be doing its thing, which is disarming enemies. I think that would be absolutely fantastic, but the issue, where the fuck would you put it? Because if you're building him for his 4, like I am, I'm actually building him for all of his abilities, then you would want to have his 4 augment. But I don't know. I might be able to place it somewhere on this build and not lose too much. I guess you could sort of say you could get rid of stretch for the other augment you're talking about. Yeah, but then I would lose the range, the radius of LOL. But anyway, all of this being said, I'm very happy with the augment, even if it is bugged. It is bugged pretty bad. But if you get your consistent procs going, and even just with the status chance bonus, my god, his 4 can push out damage. And if you're not satisfied with the damage, you can always just do finishers, which will basically insta-kill enemies that are asleep. So that is fantastic. So thank you guys so much for watching. And remember, in Trilby, we trust.